Quick tip here. If you're trying to get in more animal protein, specifically red meat, but you cannot digest red meat or you just are having trouble, I've definitely experienced that myself. And it was really, really hard for me to get in enough red meat protein. So I actually started incorporating Equip Foods Prime Protein. It's their unflavored beef protein powder. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, wait, what the heck is beef protein powder? Well, it's different than bone broth powder. And it basically is like the same equivalent to a 4-ounce piece of grass-fed steak. It has 20 grams of protein, and the ingredients, it's just the unflavored one ingredient, and that's what I stick to. I add it to my smoothies. You can even add it to like your mac and cheese sauce, hot drinks. I have even added it to my coffee instead of the gelatin that I was previously using, and it froths your coffee like no other, and you're getting in tons of protein. So whether it's a smoothie, your coffee, or a guacamole dip, and you want to get in red meat and you want to digest it, definitely check out Prime Protein. And it's from the company Equip Foods. Again, I always get the unflavored because there's no sugar alternatives, no natural flavors. And I just think it's so versatile, and it's something everyone should incorporate in their diet. Another important thing is that it is grass-fed and it's tested for heavy metals, toxins, things like glyphosate. So they go the extra mile to make sure they're providing you with the cleanest source. It is definitely keto and paleo as well as carnivore. So if you're following any of those diets, or again, you just want to get more red meat into your personal diet plan, check out Equip Foods Prime Unflavored Protein. And if you go to equipfoods.com/digest and use code DIGEST, you'll get 20% off. That's 20% off Equip Foods Prime Protein. Just go to equipfoods.com/digest and use code DIGEST. Inflammation is probably the number one cause of just so many diseases. And so in today's Bite of Knowledge, I just want to share with you a few of the most anti-inflammatory foods you can eat to help combat inflammatory issues. So stress, low activity levels, toxins in our environment, and of course, toxins in our food can cause inflammation and make inflammation even worse. So studies suggest that some foods can actually help decrease chronic inflammation. So foods play a huge factor depending on if they're good or bad for you. And today, like I said, I'm going to be sharing some. So these are some of the most anti-inflammatory foods. Let's get right into it. All right, all my berry lovers, listen up. So berries are some of the limited fruits that contain the smallest amounts of sugar. In particular, raspberries are very, very low in sugar. They all are great and contain generous amounts of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. In addition to raspberries, some of the most common berries are blackberries, blueberries, and strawberries. Berries in all shapes and sizes contain an antioxidant which have the anti-inflammatory effects shown to help reduce your risk of disease. Now, in one study including 25 adults, those who consumed blueberry powder every day produced significantly more natural killer cells than those who did not consume the powder. And in another study, adults with excess weight who ate strawberries had lower levels of certain inflammatory markers associated with heart disease than those who didn't eat strawberries. And my personal favorite way to enjoy berries, in case you're interested, is adding frozen strawberries into a smoothie with cacao powder. This results in a lower sugar smoothie that tastes legit like chocolate strawberry bliss. You guys have to try it. All right, number 2 is fatty fish. Now, fatty fish are not only a great source of protein and the long chain omega-3 fatty acid, but they also provide anti-inflammatory properties due to their high EPA and DHA content. Although all types of fish contain some omega-3 fatty acids, salmon, sardines, and anchovies are among the best sources. The high levels of EPA and DHA in these fish help reduce inflammation, by which our bodies uses to metabolize into different compounds which have anti-inflammatory effects. Isn't that amazing, though, you guys? Like how our body can take one thing and turn it into another so we can fight off and combat inflammation. I just love it. I also just wanted to point out certain studies have found that people consuming salmon or EPA and DHA supplements experienced reductions in the inflammatory marker C-reactive protein. So this is just another great way. If you love fish, get it in, you guys. Now, broccoli is a cruciferous vegetable along with cauliflower and also Brussels sprouts. But research has shown that eating a lot of cruciferous vegetables is associated with a decreased risk of heart disease and cancer, and may be related to the anti-inflammatory effects of the antioxidants they contain. Broccoli in particular, get this, is rich in an antioxidant that decreases inflammation by reducing your levels of cytokines, which are molecules that drive inflammation in your body. Obviously, broccoli is hard to digest for those suffering with gut issues. So if you are going to eat it, make sure that you steam it, and you can even do a broccoli puree, which can make digestion even a lot more easier. So broccoli puree, steam it. If you don't have IBS issues, try it. If you do eat it raw, make sure you squeeze some lemon on it. Next up is avocados. So another great reason to eat avocados, you guys. They are packed with potassium, magnesium, fiber, and heart-healthy monosaturated fats. They also contain carotenoids, which is linked to a reduced risk of cancer. And in one high-quality study, including 51 adults with excess weight, those who ate avocado for 12 weeks had a reduction of inflammatory markers. Green tea is another anti-inflammatory. So green tea has been consumed since the ancient times and often as a ritual in many countries. It's been linked to a reduced risk of heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's disease, obesity, and other health conditions. Many of its benefits are due to its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, especially a substance called EGCG, which is something you may have heard of by now. EGCG inhibits inflammation by reducing pro-inflammatory cytokines, which I previously mentioned, and the damage to the fatty acids in your cells. The highest concentration of EGCG is probably in matcha green tea. Now, when I say probably, like it is, you can definitely steep twig leaf green tea. That's great. You're going to get some, but the highest is in matcha green tea. Now, when choosing matcha, be sure it's certified organic to eliminate any possible risks of glyphosate and other pesticide contamination. I personally love using Further Foods organic matcha elixir. Now, this is completely vegan because some of their products contain collagen. So this matcha elixir is certified organic, and it also contains brain-boosting superfoods, organic cordyceps mushrooms, and ashwagandha. It has 137 times more antioxidants than regular green tea. Plus, Further Food regularly third-party tests for heavy metals, which I love. So you can use my code Little Sipper for a discount on their organic superfood matcha and all their other amazing blends as well. So just go to furtherfood.com and use code Little Sipper at checkout. Now, next on the list are mushrooms. Now, while thousands of varieties of mushrooms do exist worldwide, only a few are edible and grown commercially. These include truffles, portobello mushrooms, and shiitake mushrooms. Mushrooms are rich in selenium, copper, and all the B vitamins. They also contain phenols and antioxidants that provide anti-inflammatory protection. Now, a special type of mushroom, which I'm sure you've heard of, it's called lion's mane. And this has been shown promising test results in potentially reducing low-grade inflammation related to obesity. Now, however, there was a different study that found that cooking mushrooms lowered their anti-inflammatory compounds significantly. So it may be best to eat them raw or lightly cooked. Okay, so all my longtime Instagram followers and podcast listeners pretty much know I am not one to shy away from talking about things that many would otherwise be embarrassed to. You know, we get all into the things like constipation, period talks, natural birth control alternatives, embarrassing infections, and vaginal health is no exception. It's something I think should be talked about more, actually, because I know so many women secretly suffer with vaginal issues and are looking for natural ways to support their feminine needs. So at the beginning of June, I was one of the very first people to try out Seed's brand new Vaginal Symbiotic. You guys already know I'm a fan of Seed's oral probiotics, but now they've expanded their line to offer vaginal support. It's called VSO1. And just like our mouth, skin, and gut have a unique microbiome, so do our sensitive areas, and they need just as much attention and care. Your vaginal microbiome is made up of bacteria, fungi, and viruses that can regularly shift with day-to-day life from menstruation, exercise, swimming, diet, gels and lubricants, stress, certain prescriptions, feminine hygiene products, and even past pregnancies can throw off your vaginal microbiome, leaving it susceptible to imbalances and unwanted issues. 9 out of 10 women have an unstable vaginal microbiome. Seed's new VSO1 is the first vaginal probiotic suppository clinically validated to promote an optimal vaginal microbiome dominated by the probiotic L. crispatus, which is the hero probiotic for vaginal health. From a randomized, double-blinded, placebo-controlled clinical trial, 90% of participants established an optimal vaginal microbiome dominated by L. crispatus. The trial also showed that VSO1's smart tablet delivery technology demonstrated a 10-time increase in abundance of beneficial bacteria compared to an oral capsule format, and 100% of participants maintained an optimal vaginal pH. So when you first start VSO1, it's an intensive first month reset to rapidly establish an optimal vaginal microbiome and continues with a simple 2-tablet monthly protocol to maintain a stable vaginal microbiome and regulate pH. So if you've been looking for something to help support your vag and help maintain a healthy environment, my listeners can get 25% off VSO1 Reset Starter Kit by going to seed.com/digest and use code 25digest. Again, just go to seed.com/digest and use code 25digest at checkout for 25% off. Turmeric is probably very well known in the anti-inflammatory quote industry. It's a spice with a warm, earthy flavor that's often used in curries and other Indian dishes. Now, research has shown that turmeric reduces inflammation related to arthritis, diabetes, and other diseases due to its high curcumin content, which is a powerful anti-inflammatory compound. In one study, people with metabolic syndrome consumed 1 gram of curcumin daily combined with black pepper. They experienced a significant decrease in the inflammatory marker CRP. And I also just want to point out that if you ever are consuming turmeric for its anti-inflammatory properties in particular, you must always pair it with black pepper to activate turmeric's attributes. Now, not everyone consumes turmeric daily, and it may be hard to get enough turmeric in your diet to reap the benefits. However, there are several ways to incorporate it in your daily consumption if you just really think about it and are, proactive. You can easily add it to soups, and one of my favorite ways to get it in is by making a turmeric tea latte. Guys, this is so good. You have to try my recipe. All right, so get a pen and paper and write this recipe down right now. You're going to add 1 cup of liquid into a small saucepan. Now, that liquid can either be just water, nut milk, or coconut milk. I personally like to mix 1/2 cup water and 1/2 cup coconut milk. Then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of honey or maple syrup or sweetener of choice if you like date syrup, and 1 scoop of Further Foods Superfood Turmeric Tonic Mix. Now, this blend contains organic turmeric plus adaptogenic herbs and superfoods. Further Food also includes black pepper in this mix because they know you need it to activate the turmeric. Smart. It's vegan, sugar-free, and also non-GMO. It's even easy to add into your baking or energy bites. All right, so then once the coconut milk, honey, and superfood turmeric blend is well mixed in the saucepan, pour it in a cup and enjoy. That's it, just 3 little ingredients there. If you want to try Further Foods Superfood Turmeric Tonic, you can just go to furtherfood.com and use code LittleSipper at checkout. Now, I need to talk about extra virgin olive oil because this, guys, is important. Olive oil is one of the healthiest fats you can eat. It's rich in monosaturated fats and a staple in the Mediterranean diet, which provides numerous health benefits. Studies link extra virgin olive oil to a reduced risk of heart disease, brain cancer, and other serious health conditions. It's no surprise that in one study, CRP and several other inflammatory markers significantly decreased in those who consumed 1.7 ounces of olive oil every single day for 12 months. The effect of a special antioxidant found in olive oil has been compared to anti-inflammatory drugs such as ibuprofen. Please do keep in mind that the anti-inflammatory benefits from olive oil come from pure, fresh, potent olive oil. I personally use Cruciferous olive oil. I know the owner, and he has even been on the show. If you go back, it's on episode 5 of Digest This. And olive oil is just amazing. Now, I want to, again, go into why I love Cruciferous because first of all, it's not sold in stores because stores, it's just a headache. When you get stuff from stores, it goes through a process. They go to distributors. They don't go from the manufacturer to the store. They have to go to a distributor. They sit in a distributor warehouse. Then they go from the distributor to the grocery store, and then it's sitting on the grocery store shelves under fluorescent lighting, and that also degrades the olive oil. And so by the time you're actually getting the olive oil you buy at the store from the time of production, it could be like a year later. I know Cruciferous, they have a farm in Greece, and it takes 2 weeks to get it from Greece to the United States. They pick the olives, press the olives same day, bottle it. We get it here in the US in 2 weeks, and they ship it direct to consumers. The taste is actually medicinal, and I haven't found a more pungent olive oil than Cruciferous. Everyone should try this olive oil at least once in their life to know what true olive oil should taste like, as well as reap the benefits from it. So if you use code DIGEST, you'll get 25% off your entire order. Their website is cruciferous.com. That's KASANDRINOS.com. And then just use the code DIGEST, DIGEST, for 25% off. Last but certainly not least, dark chocolate and cacao. Now, all my chocolate lovers rejoice. If you didn't know, I actually eat tons of chocolate every single morning, and I put it in my coffee. This is the real deal, cacao mass. It's the purest you can ever get, And to the untrained tongue, however, it can be quite bitter. But I love it and have acquired a taste for it, even more than like the 80%. I just love pure 100%. Pure chocolate or cacao is packed with antioxidants that help reduce inflammation. There's a lot of studies to back that. Flavonoids are responsible for chocolate's anti-inflammatory effects and help keep the cells that line your arteries healthy. Can I get an amen for that? Woo! All right. Now, there was a small study that people who consumed 350 milligrams of cacao flavonoids twice daily experienced improved vascular function after just 2 weeks. So it certainly can't hurt to choose dark chocolate that contains at least 80% cacao. And if you can take it, go for 100%. That concludes today's Bite of Knowledge. I hope you all enjoyed this week's episode. And if you did, please remember to share it with your friends and family, as well as on social media, and tag me at Lil Sipper, LILSIPPER, on Instagram. I always love seeing you all repost and share the episodes you enjoy. And the best way you can support this show is by simply leaving a rating and review. It takes like 2 seconds. And by doing this, you're helping get this podcast out into more ears. Thanks so much for all the love you always show. And I'll see you guys on Instagram. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Resonant Media production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Mike Fry. To email the show, message us at digestthispod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.